Good morning everyone, I'm Mary Joyce from St Coleman's High School, Ballynahinch. I have been teaching 32 years and I have spent all my teaching life in Ballynahinch. My interest in sharing classrooms, deepening learning, I would say stems from my childhood experiences. I was born and reared in the country. When it came time to go to school, my parents sent me to the local school a mile down the road. I walked down there with my brothers and sisters. It's a Protestant school, I thought nothing of it. Until one day a wee boy said to me, you know, there's no Pope here. And I went home and I said to Mummy, what do you think he meant? Oh, he got that from home, Mary, never you worry. Then it came to age 7, I had to move from that school to make my first communion. But I had happy memories of that school, but that started me thinking, why should I have to move from a school a mile down the road to get on a bus to go 4 or 5 miles away? Then I went on ahead and went to school in Ballynahinch, and the whole time I went to school in Ballynahinch, there was always friction. There was always name calling, teasing, bullying, and it all came from religion because Ballynahinch was a very, very divided town. As Angela alluded to earlier, my experiences of Emu were with Movilla. High school was 10 minutes out the road from us. We did not have a Emu link. I had I trained with Christine who taught in Movilla. She phoned me and asked could she have a Emu link. And a Emu link, yeah, it worked okay. With days out we went to Cultraw with baked soda bread. But there was no real mixing. And then my own children's experience with Emu, I have twin daughters and they would have had Emu trips with the local primary school in Ballynahinch and they absolutely hated those days. You used to say, Mom, you know the function of those days? They can really label the school we went to and then when they see us down the town on a Saturday in their uniform, they can call us names. So I kept thinking there had to be something better than this. Then a post came up in school for a coordinator of the learning community because in the Ballynahinch area there are 5 schools, 3 in Ballynahinch and 2 in the outskirts. I applied for the post of early learning community coordinator and I got that post. And I saw there were brilliant ways. You know, 3 schools in Ballynahinch, 10 to 15 minutes apart. Why were we not doing more? And I'd have to say the grammar school was very, very reluctant to cooperate at all. And we even had pupils swap there, but there's different kind of barriers up there. We're not as good as them, etc. But Angela and I got our heads together anyhow, and we decided. Good way, enhanced career opportunities. I wanted the children to do childcare because I taught childcare many years ago, but we were a small school and we couldn't. First attempt, we got them over. 4 or 5 came over from the high school. I thought, now how am I going to seat these pupils? I thought they're a small group, they're going to be intimidated if I start to put them round tables. So I let them sit together in a group, which really, in hindsight, was not a good idea. Come November, I thought we're not getting on too badly here. You know, they're getting their GCSE. That was my priority. These children had to be taught GCSE, health and social care. November, some of the girls from high school came over wearing a poppy. Some of the boys in my school, in my class, I would say through ignorance and nothing else, passed a comment on the wearing of the poppy which caused offence. And that was the first thing that made me think, right, we have to do something more here. We addressed the issue of the poppy and they apologised, but there was an atmosphere after that and that made me realise we have to do something more here. So when the opportunity of the SDL training came along, it was great. We had time up in the YMCA in Newcastle. Now what I liked about that was there were no bells, there were facilitators there, we had time to talk. Angela and I actually had time to sit down and talk about what we wanted to do. And I could not praise nicely enough. The support that we got was absolutely brilliant, and Angela and I would have taken part in 3 days training. We knew things were not right, but we didn't have the confidence or the skills to do icebreakers, etc. And that's what the SDL training gave us. Then, as Angela said earlier, we had our action planning day. Again, we were out of school with that, and we had Paul, and we spent the whole day in a local hotel planning our induction programme. We had an area learning community coordinator from another community who came along, and that was really, really good. The whole induction process, I think, was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And as Angela said earlier, the principals were there, which I think gives a lot of support. The parent session, very, very good. And again, we had that on a neutral venue. We purposely picked the market house so we weren't seen to be going to either school, and we picked that for the parents' session. Then we had our joint training session. Now, it was good, but there's 2 or 3 remarks, you know, that are in my mind. One, staff were concerned about losing jobs. When schools come into the shared classroom, staff are concerned about losing jobs. Another member of our staff, who was a very experienced member of staff, she said, I hated coming in here this morning. She says the receptionist wasn't very pleasant and I didn't know where to go. And I thought, there is a lady in her 40s saying that. What is it not like when we do that to 14, 15 and 16-year-olds? Another comment was the Trojan horse in the room, which makes me realise this is all great, but there is still a lot of suspicion and mistrust out there that we really need to build upon. But overall, the evaluations were excellent. The impact on the school and the community. Now, I live and I work in Ballinhinch, and the impact on the community is unbelievable. I went into the canteen the other day and one of the dinner ladies said to me, so-and-so comes over here to do health and social care and her mummy thinks it's the best thing has happened and it should have been happening years ago. As a treat, I took them down to our local coffee shop one day. There were ladies sitting there and they said, Mary, this is great to see. This is what we need. And I feel we are really, really beginning to make a difference. From the point of view of the school, it has certainly made a big impact on the school. Our children are getting a chance to do a GCSE subject and enhance their GCSE profile, better careers opportunity. It has made a big, big difference to the school. For example, I now know that every November, when it's my turn to do assembly, I pick the theme of remembrance so that all our children understand the meaning of why we wear a poppy, because in the past they didn't. I have spoken to our staff about the idea of the shared classroom. We still have to speak to our Board of Governors. But certainly the staff seems to be very, very supportive of it. But, you know, the big thing is Angela and I can do all we want to do, our principals can do, but we need the backing of the Board of Governors. And in somewhere like Ballinhinch, I still feel there is suspicion. I am really waiting on something bubbling over with the flags issue at the minute. I'm just waiting for something to happen. Hopefully, with the training Angela and I have got, we may be able to deal with that. Before this we wouldn't have been, but now we have that confidence. For the future, I really, really hope, I think them being in the shared classroom is only the beginning. I want them to develop a trusting relationship and a far, far deeper understanding that goes beyond getting a C or above in health and social care or a C or above in child development. And I think we will be able to do that, thanks to the support that Paul has given us and thanks to the support that Bernie has given us. Because Angela and I, as you can tell, are of the older generation with 60 years teaching plus. So we are not overly confident. I can go in and teach a class, no problem, but I wouldn't be overly confident with icebreakers or that, or dealing with confrontational situations. And I think the support that we have got has really, really helped us to do that. We're certainly needing to build upon this. I'm looking forward to the day in Belfast 100%, when we will get, and working more with the parents. You know, a parent came up the other day and asked me at reception, her daughter, she's from the high school, and I went to reception, it was the girls' mum, she says, could I have Shannon's folder please? That never would have happened in the past. I got a Christmas present yesterday from one of the pupils in the high school, and that never would have happened in the past. And she says, my mummy said it was so important that you got this. So I feel in Ballinhinch, and I know Ballinhinch really, really well. I remember in Ballinhinch on the 11th of July night, in my house, been absolutely terrified because mobs were roaming the street, because I live quite near the Catholic Church. Mobs were roaming the street, and I can remember ringing the police and saying, could you please come quick, because they're going to vandalise our house. And the policeman says, but we're standing outside the door and we can't do anything about it. So I think when we have these children from the community in the classroom, we will definitely make a lasting difference. And that's what I hope to do. Thank you very much.